This is our balancer. I fucking love this balancer. I spent a bit.
HoonTV!
Anth's just checking his social media, but
Hey,
he is. He's checking his Facebook, Instagram, whatever he's hiding now. But we are actually in the engine room here, and this is an engine room with the world's biggest torque wrenches, I just noticed. That's when you've got a Mack truck head. How many?
torque wrench extension bar.
A torque wrench extension bar. What's the highest foot-pounds for a cylinder head bolt?
Oh, I wouldn't know off the top of my head, but once you start getting that high, it's plus 90, so where you end up is who knows.
Man. So anyway, I'm going to flip this back around. I always do that. What I want to show you though is we are here in the engine room. We've got these engines that we'll wrap back up and nicely laid out, all the tools here. Like Shano's in here daily putting engines together when Anth isn't in here taking over the place.
Harassing him. Yeah.
But give me a really quick tour. I mean, I've been here for the last couple of days and we're out the back in the strip down area where all the dirty stuff happens. But I mean, talk to me about what's going on here in this business and what is this business?
Yeah, so basically, I run Horsepower Junkie. I have done for like the last 4 years. Basically outgrown the space that I was in, and it was at the beginning of this year. I was working 2 jobs, and at the beginning of this year, my missus said, "Pick one, choose one, settle down, pick what you want to do." So I approached these guys here. I've known them for a very long time. I actually did my apprenticeship with these boys. So everyone here was like family to me. So at the beginning of the year, Horsepower Junkie now moved in with Footscray Engine Reconditioning, which I'm a co-owner of. And we've got a massive facility. We've got great tools and we've got some very, very, very experienced guys, which turn up, knock out amazing work, and there's very little QA that we have to do to chase them up, which is great. So yeah, well, I'll show you the place.
Talk to me, like, as we're going around, like, I went around and filmed a bit of stuff of the guys working because it's nice and quiet at the moment. It's pretty loud and chaotic when stuff's happening, but over on the crank grinding machine.
Yeah, so basically everything crank happens in this area here. We grind cranks, we crack test cranks on that side over there. Down the far back, we've got a straightening jig and we check cranks for straight.
So some of the staff though, I mean the bloke on the crank grinder, who's that?
So we run 3 different grinders on the crank grinder. They rotate in and out. It can be a bit of a mundane job from time to time, but Greggy's probably our go-to man if we've got something that we want out really, really spot on. He does a lot of our performance stuff too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Further down is our conrod section. Probably not real bright because half the lights are turned off, but...
And it is night time and we are getting hungry because we're going for dinner.
Yes. But yeah, here we knock out quite a lot of rods, like this one. Once you go to your 3,000 kilowatt engine mark, we might be able to jam one of these bad boys in there for you.
That's a 10K Barra rod.
Yeah, I'll do a fishing shot.
Yeah.
Does it look big now?
That's your Tinder profile picture, yeah.
But yeah, these guys, we pin fit all the bushes here. We do everything in-house, the bottom rods. So that's where we use machinery like this. That's to do our bushing on our rods. That's to resize our rods, the machine in the corner there.
Yep.
We line bore our blocks, and we've got the line hone in the background there. So we do all of this work in-house. I personally know how to run most of the machines in this joint, and all the guys in this place, we can swap them out from machine to machine because they're all qualified automotive machinists by trade, which is good.
I did get some shots of this today, in boring machines.
Yeah, so...
It was pretty boring to watch.
It was, yeah. So the guy that runs this section, he's been with us for like 30 plus years, and we just tell him what size we want. We don't even really give him a tolerance, and he just knocks it out of the park every time.
It's a 2J here, yep.
Yeah, that's a 2J. Again, with the Real Street caps, we do all that in-house. This guy's
Jay from Real Street, isn't it? That's his
name? Is,
I chatted to him. He's a really nice dude.
So this is going to end up with one of those 3.5 stroker kits on it. That badass head that I was porting the other day that you're looking at, that's going to end up on this. It'd be another really good combo. We seem to be doing quite a lot of these actually at the moment.
And it's funny, like it looks like there's stuff everywhere here, but like you see during the day, all this stuff's constantly moving around because the guys have got all numbers on these blocks. They're all getting work on.
That's the other thing too. We've got a lot of guys in the shop. Basically, each section has an individual employee. There'll be one on the crank grinder, one in the rod section, one balancing, one doing general engineering. We'll have 3 guys in the head section. We'll have a guy on the balancer at the back, Shano in the assembly room. So the whole day, everything's on wheels, and all these trolleys basically get pushed from one end to the other, in and out of the tanks, and it's a big game of Jenga, really, just moving everything around all day.
And I mean, I had noticed when I first walked in here, there's like gantries everywhere for moving stuff around. It's really cool. You can get stuff from, and I mean, the size of the engines you've got to mess around with.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just we're just trying to streamline everything. So the faster everything goes through, the less headaches, the better our paperwork is. Everyone knows what's going on. It gets from point A to point B to point C to point D, and then eventually out the shop to the customer.
And I mean, I've noticed here, being here for a few days too, it's not really like a chop shop either, because all the guys have been here a long time that work here, and they all genuinely like doing what they're doing.
There is a lot of experience in this place, and that's the thing that we've been very fortunate. We've had a lot of the old timers hang around. A lot of our employees are, it's average 10-year cycle here. We've got them up to 30 years. We've still got 3 or 4 of them. And last year we had guys retire that have done 30, 40 years with the company. So we don't muck around like that. We definitely like to hold on to our guys. Anyone that's in the industry will know how difficult it is to find really good machinists at this level. It's not the same as a general fitter and turner machinist job, because every machine is very unique to the operation that you do. The honer is a hone, the borer is physically just to bore the blocks. Our surfaces is to surface the blocks. And because everything's so specific, you really have to learn the machine and all the nuances with the machine.
Yeah.
Some like to be licked, some like to be kissed, but they all do a really good job in the end. Yes, as you can see, a lot of our production work that we do is actually diesel motors.
Yeah, like this little one here.
Yeah,
like
this little one,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a baby one. And like I said to you last time, almost every diesel is sleeved, it's fire-ringed, which are all the common things that we do on the performance motors anyway. A lot of these babies, making between 600, 700 horsepower, and they're doing it for 1 million Ks. So
yeah, it's crazy. And these, the new motors that have just come in ready to get like either stripped or I think I saw this one come in on the back
Yeah,
of the
that's an old
today,
International.
Yep.
We get a large variety of things in here. That will come apart next week. But you know, normally someone will throw that out. This guy's, that's his baby. This truck. So he's like, no, we've got to work it out. See what we might not even have pistons. We'll have to, and I'll show you in the machine that we do. But we might have to modify pistons and do a modified rod set and get gaskets just to make the whole thing work. So. Over here we've got sandblasting. Is just one of our head mills. These jigs are really good. We've got a couple of them. They work absolutely fantastic. For a lot of that custom stuff that I was talking about before, like that International, we might not be able to get all the parts for it. This is a ring grinder if we need to thin out a set of rings. That's a lifter grinder. This old girl here, if she could talk, she would say a lot, but all the old Repco Brabham stuff back in the day, all the pistons and whatnot, were actually machined on this actual lathe. So
yeah, wow. Old machines are so cool. Yeah, I mean, how old would this be? This would have to be like.
Oh, I think this would earlier than that.
Wow.
I would say maybe the 50s. Yeah, it's great. You jump on here, and you feel like a real rocket scientist slamming through all the gears.
Yeah, nice.
The chuck's pneumatic, which pulls back and locks the pistons in place, and yeah, we still use this quite a lot, and to be honest with you, the accuracy is impressive for the age of the machine. That's the other thing too. We've got a lot of old machines in this place, but everything gets updated, refreshed, recalibrated. On our line bore, I didn't show you before, but we re-scrape all our bedways and all that to clean them up because we're just so confident in the work they've done over the last 30, 40 years, and they haven't let us down. It's why not give it a refresh and keep the same machine running, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, the other thing you've mentioned too is that, yeah, you're the young blood, new co-owner of the business. You're bringing some new machines in soon as well.
Yeah. So we
complement the old.
It's part of the evolution of any business, but we just continually update and move forward and try and get everyone over the line. Because we do a lot of diesel. We've got a couple very, very large machines here, and they're purely for doing the big stuff. Yeah.
Yep. These are all motors getting torn down.
Yeah, these are all waiting to be quoted. So they're all torn down into parts.
Yep.
We go through and we try and label everything, job card for everything. The main card in the office will have all the details of exactly what come in and what's required for that job.
Yep.
Then we'll collate a quote, send that out, and it hit the customer. Over here is our cylinder head section. So we've got a couple quick ways down the end here. No, not that old dinosaur. This
thing. What is that anyway?
This is an old Warren and Brown valve refacer. So
oh yeah, Repco. There.
Yeah, good old machine. We don't use it for valve facing anymore because it's past its days, and you just don't get the accuracy in the chuck.
Yep.
So
that's where this comes in.
Yeah, these guys are purely just for sharpening stones now. This is a valve seat cutter. This old girl does most of our diesel work.
Yep.
We segregate the machines between diesel and petrol.
The Barra.
Very close.
Oh, very close. Oh, Ford Transit.
No.
No, Ranger.
No.
What's that say there?
Ford Motor Company.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
So it's the V8 Barra.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But close, good
Coyote,
call.
yeah.
Yeah. No, 5.4, Boss motor.
Boss motor, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, so we've got a number of them. Supercharged Boss motors, Coyotes, we do them quite a bit as well.
Yep. Lots of heads here, yep.
Yeah, sort of give the guys a bit of free rein to set up the areas how they like.
Yep.
There's Surdy there, which has been used as a collection heap. Then we keep seals, guides, valve seats, all of that sort of stuff in stock for all our common stuff. Even all the race car stuff that we normally do, we keep all that in stock as well.
That's your head assembly bench here.
The old clunker, yeah. This is Mark's favourite section here. He really enjoyed his time in the last 3 days.
No, I was very impressed with
going through cleaning.
This teardown bench here is a really good idea.
Yeah, so basically it's got a sump in it. As you can see, there's a bit of oil in there, but we'll pump that out once a month because it literally fills up at the end of each month. And yeah, this bench is great. Hang a motor over the top of it, tear it down, make a mess, clean up the bench and try not to spill too much on the floor and try not to drop any bolts in that hole in the middle because it's a bit of investigating you have to do through the...
Get the magnet out.
So yeah.
This is a 202 or something.
Yeah, so this is no, I think it's a 186 this one because it's got a small chamber head on it. Yeah, it's a HP block.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this will be someone's pride and joy that we'll refresh and make new again.
Nice.
If you look at the counterweight here, as we were talking about your crank before, Mark. So this early one, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 counterweights off the 6-cylinder, yeah? So we've got no counterweights here. We've got 1 counterweight on that each side of the crank.
Needs to put a PPM crank in it.
Well, it's just not, they weren't designed for high sustained RPM, so.
Yeah, over here, that's crank balancing over there.
This is our balancer. I fucking love this balancer. I spent a bit. I shouldn't have said that. I've spent a lot of time on this balancer, and it just works flawlessly. We get it calibrated, updated. All the sensors on it work really well. And I was explaining to Mark the other day, my favourite feature of this balancer out of any balancer that I've ever used is the fact that it gives you feedback. So when you see this guy shaking around, you know automatically that it's not balancing, no matter what the gauge tells you. And when it's running dead true like that and it's humming and it's not moving, regardless of what the gauge says again, you know that the dynamics of the crank are spot on. We can change the RPM on this and really get it romping as we get the balance more fine. But yeah, fantastic machine. Works really well.
And that's that Ford one that you were going to get onto soon.
Yeah, that's the next one to knock over. So that's
crank, yep.
That's another Boss motor that we've got here.
Yep.
It will be a low boost application, so just a tidy little street car. But yeah, we'll get all that done. We get the cranks brand new out of Ford.
Yep.
They're not worth a hell of a lot, and it's not worth, again, like I said to you before, sometimes when you're gonna go that next step on a motor, it's better off. You're better off just making sure your foundations are right and you're not questioning yourself. Yep. Because we can crack test it, but we can't get into the inside and have a good look what's going on.
And yeah, cylinder head welding and...
Yeah, see in here we've got a bit of a metal shop. We repair quite a lot. All the old cast iron stuff gets repaired still. It's amazing what people still want to hang on to and that they have fond memories of. So we'll get in, we'll weld, we'll cut seats out. TIG weld components, we get, cars and trucks and buses that have been in smashes and they want sumps welded or fittings welded on. So yeah, we do all of that for them, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And then around here, so we've got the teardown bench and all of these crayfishing pots here.
Yeah, that's for getting all the barnacles out of the tank.
Yep.
No, we throw all our parts in there and then they'll make it through the tanks. So basically we've got a caustic tank here, which is for all our ferrous metals, like that cylinder head, for example, it's on the floor. They get stripped down and go in the caustic tank. You've seen how clean the blocks come out.
Yep.
Once they come out of it, it strips paint, everything off them basically, and it takes them back to a bare metal state. The caustic's good because it gets right into the pores, so when we blow it off, it takes staining and everything off. In the corner there, we've got an aluminium hot tank. Basically all our aluminium cylinder heads and components will go through that tank. Before anything goes in the tank though, we use our spin wash tank here. That's probably the hardest worker in the whole place. Every dirty engine and cylinder head and sump and whatnot that we get actually goes through that guy. As you can see, our tanks are bunded. Everything goes through the triple interceptor. We try and separate as much oil out. And we try that basically once everything leaves this section of the shop, which is the first place that it sees, it gets out there oil free, just so we're not spreading oil and dirt everywhere.
Yep.
This is our 600 litre ultrasonic tank, and that's a final clean item, which really does a great job. If you have a look at that cylinder head down there, that's been through the ultrasonic tank, and you pan forward to these ones, you've got ones that have been through the tank and ones that they yet to go.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then this little tiny engine over here.
Yeah, this one's come in. It's got an oil pressure issue, I believe it is. So we'll get onto that next month.
It's
pull
probably
it down.
Oil pressure issue after 2 million kilometres.
Yeah, well that's right.
Looks like it.
That's right. Actually, looks pretty clean. So
what is it? It's a Detroit diesel. There you go.
Yeah.
Just a little one. Yeah. Nice. Well, I mean, and this is a pretty big place here, and you've only sort of just come in Christmas time, so.
Yeah, that's right. So look, I've known, like I said, I've known the guys for a very long time. I was lucky enough that they would actually let me scoot in here on weekends and do my own machining jobs over the last 4 or 5 years. So they've been very, very supportive. But yeah, I've been in here full time since Christmas. Horsepower Junkie now is officially, their headquarters are here. We've got some room out the back, which I explained to you what we're looking at doing and, you know, moving forward, which is really exciting. And some updates we want to do internally, which is very, very exciting. But all will come in time, and watch your space. Thanks.
So, most importantly, what are we having for dinner? I'm stuffing.
I don't know. I could go Korean barbecue again. You said I don't eat anything healthy, so maybe we should just have boiled rice or something.
No, Korean barbecue sounds good. Yeah. All right. Oh, come on, don't leave me hanging.
Oh, there you go.
And just finally, I may have, in the strip down video, we were talking about $10,000 Barra engine parts. What's that? Oh no. Don't mess with the streetcar boxer, maybe. Anyway.
That's a valuable item right there. How many of them will you see in 10 years' time from now?
And a standard FG intercooler, look at that. Nice. Anyway, cut. We'll be back soon to make more engine stuff.
Yeah, done.
Hello. Like a rabbit in a hole.